what we are going to do today is food meditation, something which had changed my life completely. I believe that not only what we eat, but the thoughts when we are eating, and each one of us know that, influences completely what we are, what we do, our thoughts, our actions, and hence our digestive systems, our circulatory systems. Mental health being as important as physical health. For years, this popular conversation about diet, weight loss, going to dietitians has focused totally on the quantity, how much we should eat, but never how, never what our thoughts may be. And here with food meditation, I have seen so many of us express gratitude, cry, have sensations like they never had before, have the 5 tastes so beautifully, have the 5 elements so beautifully surfacing. This food meditation helps us pay a lot of attention to every meal, every fluid, every snack we may have. To begin with, we just sit comfortably in any seated posture. With gently closed eyes, we pull our spine upright. आंखें बंद करें, रीढ़ की हड्डी सीधी रखें, कंधों को पीछे रखें, shoulders tucked back. To take awareness, the mind's eye, in the entire area of our mouth, within the mouth. The tongue, the gums, the teeth, the upper heart palate, the salivation in the mouth. And as soon as you have acknowledged every bit in the mouth, if you can actually just feel without opening the eyes, where the walnut, the akhrout is soaked, with closed eyes, just go look for that vati, that katori, that bowl, or just slowly open the eyes a little bit to spot it and pick up the walnut. Now, continuing to keep eyes closed, place the walnut on your left hand's palm. And open your eyes completely in such a way that you don't see anything around it but only the walnut. Acknowledge its color, its shape, its size. Turn it and watch the other side. And then using the fingertips of the right hand, grip it again. Let the left hand go down and feel its sensation, its size on the fingertips edges, the fingertips of the index finger and the thumb pad. So you've already seen it. You've already felt it. And then bring it slowly, extremely close to the mouth and then higher up to the nose. Although you will not find any fragrance, odor, aroma in the walnut, try to increase the sensitivity so much that you look for the aroma, the fragrance. So we use again the sense of smell. Because most foods, when you will eventually be eating, will be having aromas, smell, fragrance, odor too. Then bring it lower, look at it again, open your mouth and place it on your tongue. Do not bite it. Just place it on your tongue. In a few seconds after you place it on the tongue, you're going to salivate a little. Swallow only the salivas as and when you feel that it's difficult to hold so much saliva in the mouth. But don't bite into the walnut. Start acknowledging its presence in the mouth. And now using the molars, the pointed teeth, from one corner of the walnut, bite into it. A small bite, a corner. And once again, using the molars, bite only from the small portion that you have bitten. So the rest of the big walnut is just kept aside and you are trying to bite into the smaller one. This process will continue for quite some time. So you will need to completely take control if you want to do this food meditation well, of making sure that when you're taking the smaller bite, you're only chewing on the smaller portion. The big one is actually we are rationing it as if no, not now. It's saved for the rest of the few minutes. Like we ration our grains or our pulses, our lentils. So we are not going to chew into that. Now take another bite. And keep chewing, 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 bite, chew. Do not swallow. Do not gulp. Every bite will have to disappear in the mouth itself. So that one big piece will have to be cornered a little. If you're biting from the right side, corner it to the left. If you're biting from the left side, corner it to the right. Again, in this process, when you're doing the biting, your walnut can crack sometimes into 2 or 3 or 4 pieces. Feeling the sensation of the smallest piece when it has broken off. Again, start biting only on that small piece. Food meditation generally lasts for 35 minutes of which for almost 20 to 25 minutes we are actually only biting on the walnut. Now for one walnut to last that long, we have to make sure that when we are taking a corner with the help of our molars into a bite, we take small portions, and that small into smaller, smallest. And if those 4 or 5 pieces have suddenly come off, emerged from the big walnut, the smallest one into the biting, then the next, then the next, then the next. For those of us who have been really very lucky enough to have that big piece yet in the mouth without it cracking into several small portions, go into the big walnut piece and bite your third one. Crack it away. Use one corner of your mouth to keep biting again. It can always be the right side or the left side in case we have any tooth problem or wisdom tooth problem or are habituated to biting only from one side. That's fine. And what goes down the throat into the food pipe is only going to be your saliva, not any piece, any segment, any residue of the walnut. And then go into the fourth. So I'm addressing both kinds of situations to you. One situation where you still have the big piece intact, by now almost half, and another situation where while trying to break it, the walnut broke off into pieces. Both situations, either or, is what I'm addressing. You are into one of those two situations. It's fine if it broke and you keep biting from the smallest to the next, next and next. Or with the big piece intact into the small, tiny, tiny, tiny bites. Experience the taste of the walnut. Keep going. Make sure eyes are closed and the mind's eye is only in the mouth, visualizing the walnut, the salivation, the teeth, the gums, the upper palate, and nothing else. If you open your eyes and look out, you will not be able to look within. We currently are meditating on food, on a piece of walnut. The word meditation comes from two words, medha and meditari. Medha means to dwell upon. It's a Sanskrit, a Magdhi word. Meditari means with wisdom. It's a Greek word. Combining the two words or using both influences, we are currently dwelling upon with wisdom into our mouth. Here it's completely the journey, not the destination. It's the process, not the result. We always jumped into the destination when we were eating. It was with the intention of finishing off because we either wanted to experience the taste or were hungry. Oh, yummy, not too good, judging, judging, judging. This sense of tastes has made us jump into too many evils. Here we reverse. We come into an experience of feeling absolutely full once we've finished chewing on the walnut. It's as if, oh wow, I had a satisfying meal. Continue the biting. Some of us may take a few moments. Some of us may be lucky enough to go into a complete meditation. Piece by piece, bite by bite, keeping the mind away from scattered thoughts and patterns, and dwelling upon with wisdom on the taste of the walnut, the salivation, the chewing. Diet, weight, taste, fragrance, aroma, recipes are popular conversations focused on how much we eat, but never on how we eat. It turns out, once you have done the food meditation, that the way we might be eating is equally important or even more important in equation for good health and for mental health. Human beings are the only species on the face of this earth, on the face of this planet, who eat just about everything that is placed on a buffet table at just about any time when it is served. We are often not even asking ourselves whether we are hungry. We place a bit of everything, even if there are 108 items or 51 dhans on a buffet table. Even if it is with the intention of not wasting, there is a little of so many things. And then we go for a second or a third helping of whatever we enjoyed, liked and relished. No other species, no bird, no animal behaves the way humans do, except pigs and crows. And hence, if we are placed in that category time and again by our own minds, let us make an attempt with food meditation to come back into the species we call human beings. By now, if the walnut is in many pieces, or we have only one tiny little piece left, bite on that and keep chewing and biting and chewing and biting and chewing and biting, with the tongue rolling between the teeth and the gums for any residue that you may have left. There may be some residues between the gums and the mouth, the inner lining. Keep going, keep going, keep going. There are times when we, even as children or our children or grandchildren or our parents and grandparents, have made many mistakes of watching TV, the iPad, the phone, SMSs, anything that we may be seeing while we may be having a snack or a meal, or we may be talking unmindfully, or we may be getting into conversations. Most of those are mistakes. Food meditation teaches us to dwell upon with wisdom every bite, every morsel, every sip that we may have, to eat, to drink, to taste, to chew. And automatic swallowing may also happen. Don't stop it, don't push it out, don't resist it. Don't block the glottis and the food pipe. Let a natural process continue. It's only after there is absolutely nothing left in the mouth, only after there is one last round to look for any residue between the teeth or your braces or even dentures or just the gums within the mouth, and you notice there is absolute aparigraha, nothing inside, that you will start with gratitude. Gratitude to yourself or the staff who soaked it for you, the walnut. Gratitude to one of these 5 elements, water, that hydrated it once again from its dehydration. Gratitude to your grocer or the driver or the watchman, security, who reached it to you. Gratitude to the farmers, the vegetable vendors, the kirana walas, the grocery stores, be it food hall, be it big basket. Big gratitude. Gratitude to all those cows, those buffaloes, those goats, those oxen, whose milk we have been drinking, who have been treading and walking on those mud harvests, paddies. Gratitude to the sun, gratitude to the rain, gratitude to the clouds, gratitude to each and every person who has been instrumental in feeding you. Gratitude to those waiters who served you. Try to remember all those times when we were so busy chatting with a relative or a friend we met at a wedding or an event or a sangeet or a party or a rotary event or even a satsang or a prasad, when we did not even do an eye contact with the waiter who served us. He just waited a few moments, realized we didn't want anything, we were too busy chatting and catching up, that he moved on. Gratitude to all those waiters. In fact, an apology for not looking into their eyes and saying a thank you. apologies to those cooks and those family members and those friends who enthusiastically made an attempt to cook for us, and we disrespected the food and them, complaining about it. Mind or body, or verbalizing, मन से, वचन से, काया से, saying an eeks or oops or I didn't like it, or suddenly getting up and spitting it out, to suddenly getting up or ringing the bell asking for some more salt or some more sugar, or to whip it a little, or to give it a froth, or to heat it a little, or to cool it a little. It's endless. And here we have examples of species, be it a parrot, be it a pigeon, be it your pet, be it a cow. Go on a safari and we check those tigers, those lions, whether herbivorous, whether carnivorous, not for us to judge. But each one of these species will not eat, however hungry, although he can't speak, at a time when we have fed them or placed that food in front of them, which is not the right time for them. They will turn, look at it, smell it, and go away or fly off. Or, if it's not a wrong time, suppose it is at the right time, it may be some food which is not what is meant for them. From jowar and certain grains to pigeons, to milk for those cats. What do we humans do? Even a dog wags his tail in gratitude when we put food in front of him before he grabs it. Let us learn to express gratitude. Just like they say a thank you when the family sits for dinner, for supper. Automatically everything will fall into place. The nutrients will be absorbed well. We will never need to go to a doctor or a dietitian. This food meditation changes our life forever. Each one of us will slowly later, after we finish, open our eyes. We may move on with the rest of the day for that cup of tea, that hot beverage, a coffee, or a kadha, or a naril pani, coconut water, or a smoothie, and later move on to maybe an upma, or an idli, or a toast. And sometime later we may have a fruit. Yes, we can continue the daily regime. Then the lunch, then maybe a tea or a fruit or a juice, maybe an early dinner. How many of us feel that we are eating the right things at the right time and have a disciplined life? But we did not do a lot of what we have done today. Once every 21 days, try to practice this technique, a satiating one, a satisfying one, with either a walnut or a raisin or an almond, to experience every taste, to surface gratitude, to allow absorption of nutrients, to digest and not just line the intestines with things which are not meant to be lined with for days, weeks or months till they are defecated, and see how this changes your life forever. One last round of the tongue for any residue that may be left. First to the right, then to the left. And now, after a long time, use a gulp if you want, or a swallow if you want. See how beautifully we have started with humble beginnings, food meditation. Take a sankalpa that you will repeat this once every 21 days. Be a lifelong learner on how to learn. Teach as much as possible. We call this training the trainer. Never believe that there will be any magic unfolding without your input. And that's all we need, this little input. Prepare to slowly open your eyes. Close them again and open them completely. Thank you all. Hari Om Tat Sat.